I thought we were excellent again. I think you can't become outcome based, and because they've won the game, I'm sure they take the plaudits and everything, and that's not the way we work. We work off of a process of, if we keep playing the way we're playing, then we will get the rewards. It's near on impossible to not happen. So again, you've got to remember, we've had Charlesy out, we've had Max out, we've had Cookie out, 3 of our probably most influential players that have been this season, and for us to go and do that to Boreham Wood, and reality is we should win the game. Like, people will probably think I'm talking rubbish, but when you actually look at the chances we created, the areas we got into, I think we counted in the office just then 7 or 8 unbelievable chances. Sim Akinola comes on, gets across the near post, just misses it. He has a header. Desi has a header. We hit the angle of the bar. Brownie's in 1v1. Micah's playing balls across the box. Like, realistically, we should win the game. Fergo has 2 volleys that you just forget about. 1 in the first half to go 1-0 up. And we're huge believers that the process is more important in a way, because results will take care of itself, and it's easy to become outcome based and results based and say, oh, we need to change. The one thing me and Stu won't ever do is change. We will change if we need to change, but we will not change when we're playing as well as we are, because you just end up ruining what you have, and we can't do that. So I'm frustrated. I've never probably been this frustrated, and sorry, even on the chances, I forget to mention the penalty. It's a Stonewall penalty. I've never seen a more certain penalty. Fella's rolled him in the box, he's dragged him, he's pulled him to the ground. And what's so frustrating is, for 12 games now, the threshold for us to get a decision, and this is the worrying thing, and I've got to choose my words carefully, but the worrying thing is the threshold is higher for us to get a decision than it is for somebody else, and that morally is completely wrong. They're match defining decisions. If it's a throw-in on the halfway line and he gets it wrong, it's not a problem, and I don't mind if he don't give their penalty. Their penalty is a penalty, but give us a penalty when we deserve a penalty. We're not asking to be favoured, we're not asking for bias. We are just asking to get what we deserve, and at the moment our players are being wronged, and morally it's completely unacceptable. And like you say, because we are so good, these decisions completely change games. Like, we should win the game today. When you watch the game back, the emotion of, because we've lost, everyone will say, oh yeah, well done Boreham Wood. But we should win the game, and that's the reality. But when you get decisions like that, it's very hard, and that's why it's hard for a team like us to get around the playoffs consistently, because decisions cost you. We've probably had 8 points robbed from us this season by poor officiating. Where would that put us in the league? It would nearly be in a title challenge, and that's how important it is.
And you speak about the penalty. Obviously, after the penalty, we had a spell where we went flat, and then you bring on the 3 subs, and the 3 subs all in their debut, and they did brilliantly, didn't they?
Yeah, I thought the 3 subs were excellent. I think, to be honest, any time subs really have come on for us this season, they've done really well. You look at Micah, rolls Mason in for the goal, puts in 2 brilliant balls, stands one up, puts one across the face of goal. And that's the thing, Sim's a poacher, that's what we need in the squad. It'll take him a little bit of time to get fit, 'cause he's had a bit of time out, but you see what he's about today. He probably could have had 2 or 3 goals when he comes on. And who was the other one? I've forgotten who it was. Gio. I mean, the kid was brilliant when he came on. He showed unbelievable quality. He's going to play his best football under us, because he's a technical player that sees all the pictures, he manipulates the ball well, and I thought he was excellent when he came on.
And adding to that about the squad depth, we've had a few injuries. Max, Cookie, Malachi all absent. Whenabouts are they going to be back?
Cookie, I hope really he should be back for Saturday. Now listen, the next probably 48 hours will determine that, whether we push him to be fit or whether we kind of don't risk it, because we're not in a position to risk it. Like, there's no point if we go and lose people like Cookie for 6 weeks for the sake of 1 game. It's just not worth it, and we know how important the cup is. It's a huge kind of dent in our CV in terms of, since we've been here, we've done really well everywhere else, but the cups have kind of let us down. But yeah, we won't push the players, but hopefully we'll have a couple back.
And the last 15 minutes, do you think that can help you going into next week's game against the same opponents? Do you think it gives us a bit of unpredictability?
Yeah, I think, if I'm being honest, if I'm them, I'd be more worried about the game than we are, because we know what we're going to do. We're going to play like every week. We've played like it for 12 games. Up until the box, the stats probably don't lie that we are the best team in the division with Notts County, up until the box. In our own box, in their box, we've probably got the 2nd best defensive record in the league. We just need to get the first goal in games, and you need a clinical edge, and that's why we've brought the players in we have, and we need to keep coaching that into the lads. It costs a huge amount of money in this division, but it defines the outcomes of a game. We don't want to be a team that keep playing well but don't win. But equally, just because we're not winning, we can't start changing the things that we're doing. We're a very, very horrible team to play, and I guarantee Boreham Wood won't want to play us come Saturday.
And speaking about the defence, Deji got man of the match again. 19 years old, but he looks so professional out there, even with Cookie missing.
Yeah, Deji come in, and obviously with all loan players, it takes time for them to get up to the level, and Deji's done that. He's gradually got better game by game. There's always things that people can improve on, and you look at Mason today, he's another young lad as well. Obviously for the first goal we take responsibility for it because we tell our lads to be brave, and that's a consequence of sometimes getting the next 80 minutes of unbelievable football and the performances you get at Oldham. You can't have one without the other. There will be mistakes, but we don't make many of them, and we take responsibility for it, and the young lads have come in and done really, really well for us.
Any complaints about the 2 goals from your perspective?
They're just individual errors. We can do better and we will analyse it, but we'll never throw players under the bus. Players are going to make mistakes. We make mistakes. Everybody will make mistakes. So we don't manage like that. There's not a blame culture here. We try and help, we try and solve, we give solutions, and we try and better people. There's no blame culture at the end of the day. Like I say, we take responsibility for the first goal because we want our players to be brave. We don't want a team that just get it and kick it out of play, and we have got to get smarter, but that comes from coaching and people making mistakes and getting better. How do you learn in life? You make errors and you get better and you learn from it, and that's what we'll do. And
finally, the atmosphere in the last 10-15 minutes was electric. How important is it that we get those fans along to Boreham Wood next week and hopefully push us into the first round?
Yeah, it's huge. It is huge because we can go there, and I know obviously Boreham Wood don't have a huge support base, but we could go there and really sort of be the home team with a noise that we could make, and coming off the back of a defeat, it will lift the players, it will lift everybody. And like I say, some of the football we're giving the fans is brilliant. We'd like to give them a few more points, but hopefully they're enjoying what we're doing, and we will get the rewards because that is the way football works when you keep performing at the level we are. And like you say, hopefully they come and they see us go through to the next round, because as a management team it's high on our agenda to make sure we get through. Now listen, we've probably got the worst draw we could get. We've got the highest ranking team in our region, so it's not nice, but I've got to be honest, when you watch today, like I said earlier, I think they'll be worrying more about us than we will them.